Hello everyone, welcome to today's training on using the Google Meet platform. So since we've decided to make a switch from Zoom to using Google Meet, today we're going to be learning how to use the different features. So one of the easiest way to access Google Meet, if you are just trying to do a quick meeting that's not already scheduled in your calendar, you could do that from your Gmail, since it's all part of the Google applications. So when you go to your Gmail, on the left hand side there, you'll see at the very bottom Meet. So this is for Google Meet. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And so if you already have scheduled meetings, that will appear here under My Meetings. Or if you're trying to do a new meeting, so we go to New Meeting. And so this will be the link that the participants need to join the meeting. So you could copy it from here and send it to someone's email, or you could hit send invite and put in the email and send it to several people, depending on who you're sending it to. So if it's someone from either within the organization, they probably will need the PIN. But if it's someone outside the organization, you're going to have to send this PIN, which is a password, to the meeting for them to be able to log in. And so once you've done all of that, you can just go to Join Now, and you'll be able to enter the meeting yourself. And so if someone else, or if you're trying to join a meeting that someone else is the host for, you go to Join a Meeting, and so this is where that PIN and password comes in. So you have to put in the PIN here, or put in the meeting invite that you were sent, and then you'll be able to join the meeting. So that's one way. Going back to mail, another way to access Google Meet is just through the applications. So when you click here for the apps in your Gmail as well, you scroll. Oh, there we go. So you should be able to find Meet, and so once you go to that, same thing. If you already have a scheduled meeting, you'll see it there, and you could just join from that, or you could start a new meeting for people. And so you could either create it for later and schedule it, or start an instant meeting and be able to copy the link and the password to send to others, or you can schedule the meeting in Google Calendar. So this we're going to come back to in a second. And so this is just another way to access Google Meet. And so in the browser here, you see meet.google.com. So if you didn't want to do it from your email at all, you could just go to meet.google.com in your browser, and it should take you to this page as well, which will be your Google Meet page. So now, learning how to do it from the calendar. So once you go back again to your Gmail, to applications, you can go to your calendar, and you'll be able to schedule a meeting from here for several people. So let's say this is my calendar. I'm going to do one for Monday at 10 a.m., which will be tomorrow, the 26th of September. So to schedule a meeting, I'll name this training. And so you can add your guests here. You just need to put in people's emails. So for this, I'll do Miss Soleil. And Mr. Jabo. So once you've added your guest, so another thing you could do as well is to add any descriptions or attachments to the meeting as you want. So if you had a document, say for example, it's the meeting agenda or something else that you want everyone to have access to, you could go to attachments and be able to pick from either your Google Drive or from your computer itself if it's saved on that. So if you do browse here, you should be able to pick a file from your files, and that will be available to everyone who you send the meeting invite to. So I'm not going to add a file for now, and you can also do a description, like I said, and you could create meeting notes. So what this does is it creates a shared Google Doc for everyone as well. So once you're in the meeting, people could all write in the doc and take notes together. And so this already has a Google Meet link attached to it. So if you needed to add one, you'll click on join with Google Meet, or add Google Meet link rather. But since it's already there, so you already have your link, all of this looks good. The rest of the tabs, the focus time and out of office is unique to each person, so you'll make that unique to you if you want to automatically decline meetings because you're in or out of the office, and it works with your calendar. So if you have another meeting scheduled on a specific time and you get a different invite, it will probably show up as a conflict, and so you will have to ask one of the people you're meeting to reschedule. And then something else I wanted to show is the reminder. So once you create a meeting, you can make it a recurring meeting if you want to use the same link each time. So this is really helpful for our monthly XCOM or combined XCOM meetings. And so once you go to reminder, you come here to the different options. So you could do it daily, weekly, that will happen every Monday, or you can do it monthly. So every month it will happen on either the fourth Monday or the last Monday, since I put it for tomorrow, which I think is the last Monday of September. So then every month it will happen on the last Monday. So for example, the combined ESCO meeting, if on a Wednesday, will repeat the last Wednesday of every month. And you can also customize the repetition as well. And so once all of that is set, if you're just doing a one-time meeting, you don't have to worry about the reminder because it will automatically be on does not repeat. And so once that is done, you can save this. And once you go to save it, it asks if you would like to send the invitation to your calendar guests. So you want to hit send, because if not, people don't get invited to the meeting. So if I hit send, Mr. Jabo and Miss Sile will get the Google Meet invite, and it will automatically save to their calendars as well, and they will be able to join from there. But I'm not going to do that since this is for training purposes, and I'll just cancel this. But it's the same mindset. So whoever created the meeting, who's the host, if you wanted to join, you can come to your calendar and join from there, or you can do any of the other ways that I showed before. So now we're going to actually go into a meeting and see the different features that we have. So I'll do a new meeting and join. So usually there is a preview page like this to join a Google Meet meeting. And so there are a couple of things on this page to pay attention to. One is up here with the email address and the save account. So if you have multiple email addresses open on your computer, you need to make sure that you're joining with your project change email. And so what will happen is, if it's not your project change email, usually it will appear here that you need to get permission from someone to be led into the meeting, similar to the Zoom waiting room. But if it's your project change email and it's an organization meeting happening, you should be able to automatically join by yourself. So just something to pay attention to. And then on this screen itself, if you wanted to join with your mic off or on, same with your video, you could easily do that. This is for visual effects. So if someone wanted to change their background, and so you have all the options here for whether or not you want to change your background. So let's try a raining cafe. It takes a while to load. So there we go. Now I have a background for the meeting, but I don't actually need that, so I'm gonna go with no effects or background, and it will just bring me back to my regular screen. You can also do a preview here if you want to see yourself and record a sound to see if your microphone is working. So you have to hit this button and you do a short recording, and then you can play it back to see if everything works according to your liking. And then audio and video, this is already default settings, so you never really have to worry about that. And then what do we have here? Okay, so all of this I'll explain once we're actually in the meeting as well. And then another thing is, you could also see here, so since I'm the only one in this meeting, it says no one is here, but you will be able to see people who have already joined the meeting that you're about to enter. And then you could either join now or join presenting a screen if you wanted to do that, and if you needed to join the meeting showing some sort of background, or if it's for a program, and that's how you wanted to get into the meeting. And there's this option to join and use a phone for audio. So what this means is, if for whatever reason the microphone on your laptop doesn't work, but you wanted to use it for video, and you will be able to join the meeting and only use your video so people that see you, but then you can also join the meeting from your phone, the same meeting, and the two devices will be connected, and you'll use your phone for audio as well. So once you click on this link, they'll ask you to put in your the country and the phone number, and then Google Meet will call you, and then you'll be able to get into the meeting and speak from your phone, but you'll be on camera through your laptop. Or you can call them as well if you prefer. And there's the different numbers for different countries. Let's see if Liberia is actually on here. I don't think it is, so, but that's an option if you're in a place where you needed to use this. And then, so if you start a meeting presenting, there is something called the companion mode that you automatically go in. And so what that does is it allows you to show your presented tab or window or screen, and then also have your video of yourself in the corner. Because if you don't do that, usually you'll be able to join the meeting, and then people can really see your face, or you can't see the rest of the screen once you're presenting. You only see the presenter screen for Google Meet. So that's one way you could do it, is by hitting present, and then you automatically use companion mode. So I'm going to go ahead and join the meeting just regularly. So here we are, and I'm in the meeting, and so a couple of things: microphone off and on, easy, camera off and on as well. And then if you wanted to raise your hand in the meeting and you had your microphone turned off, or you wanted to call attention to something, you could do this, and it puts a little palm up, and the rest of the people who can see their screens will see that you've raised your hand. This screen is for presenting, so if you wanted to share your screen, there are three options. So you can either present your entire screen. So if I take this option, that means my entire screen is going to be presented, and every tab or window or application that I go to will automatically be shared. Or you can share a window, which will mean either this specific window in my browser or any other one that I open, or you can choose from a tab. So usually you want to do a tab since it's very easy. So I have 3 tabs open here, so these are the list. So we can either go to my Drive, the meeting which I'm in, or my Gmail. So I'll go to my Drive, and so once I'm in my drive, you get to see the screen that I'm sharing, obviously, and then you can stop share up here, or you can go back to the meeting as well. And so once you're back in the meeting, you'll be able to see your shared screen and everyone else who is in the meeting. And so this was my drive. If I go to my Gmail, I can share this tab instead, and then this one will stop sharing. So I'm going to stop sharing from here and then go back to the meeting, and I'm back. So that's how you share your screen. And then so we have more options here. A couple of things you could do. One, using a whiteboard. So if you're in the meeting and you needed a space for everyone to sketch something, to write down ideas really easy, really fast, you could open something called a whiteboard. It's just like using a board or chalkboard to take down ideas. So let's try to use a whiteboard. So this is going to open, and you can either choose from your drive or you can start a new whiteboard. So what happens is you end up with a page like this, and then if you hit share, you can, similar to like a Google Doc or Google Sheets, you can hit share and put in the emails of people that you want to share it to, and then add whether they're going to be an editor, a viewer, a commenter, and the different options here. So you just need to add people's emails. But we're not going to do that. And so you have the different options here for a text box. If you wanted to type something, you could add in an image. There is a pen up here to write something. So this is, and you can also erase that as well. So yes, if you wanted to show just a diagram or something easy, if you're presenting about something you wanted to give a visual representation, using a whiteboard is an easy way to go. And then you can also share this screen and present it to the meeting as well. Okay. And so the next option we have here, let's continue. Okay, so the next option is changing the layout. This won't really take effect now since I'm the only person in the meeting, but there's different ways you can organize your meeting if you have several people. So the sidebar here means the main speaker will always be in the left portion of the screen, and then you have everyone else down here. Or a spotlight means you only see the speaker and no one else. Tiled is you see everyone speaking or not speaking, just in smaller tiles. And then auto, what this means is you switch from seeing everyone to either seeing the speaker only. And so it just changes on its own if someone starts speaking and something like that. And then we have full screen. That's just for your laptop if you wanted it to take over the full screen or not. So I'm going to exit full screen. And then another good tool is the picture-in-picture mode. So if you didn't join the meeting using the companion mode that I talked about earlier, where you join and you're already presenting something, so you have the option to have your own profile in the corner minimized and then the presenter screen for everyone to see. If you wanted to start presenting something while already in the meeting like I am, you can do the picture-in-picture mode. And so what that's going to do is, you see, you automatically have a smaller tab here with your own display, and then everyone else in the meeting will be here as well, and you can present something. So let's present my drive. So I'm able to have the presentation going, but still see myself and see other people in the meeting as well. So you're not just talking to the presenter screen. So that's a really important feature to keep in mind, the picture-in-picture one. And so a similar thing will happen if you join the meeting already presenting and if you are using the companions mode. Okay. So I stopped sharing. I'm going to exit the picture-in-picture mode. Close. Okay. And then, so moving on here, we have applying visual effects, which I already showed earlier. It's the same thing. You could add a background or blur your background or do whatever you want. Use a phone for audio. I also talked about this. And then turning on captions is you can be able to see sort of the text of what someone is saying in the meeting. So this is happening right down here. If for whatever reason the audio was bad, or if you just wanted to read as well, this is also useful for others. And so this is a good tool. We have the captions, and you could turn it off just right here. So when you use the captions, it should work for all, like every time someone else speaks, it's not only the host or the person whose caption is turned on. And then all of these are just if you're having any problems and you really wanted to email or report a problem to Google itself, you could either go to your settings or report some issue that you have. And then we have our meeting details. So this was the whiteboard that I opened earlier, so that will appear here for everyone. And also, if you remember in the calendar when trying to schedule a meeting, the adding attachments or creating meeting notes. So if you added an attachment or something, that will also appear here as well in the meeting details, so people will be able to check it out. And then we also have here where you can see all the different participants. And then we have the chat room. So it's automatically on, letting everyone send messages. So people can text in here if you just wanted to text something and not say it out. And so this is also, again, linked to that whiteboard that I did earlier. Okay, now I need to get to the site. Okay, so this again, this here is the activities. So there's a couple of things you could do in here, and so one of them being breakout rooms. Also, I can't really show you since I'm the only person in the meeting, but the idea is once you go here, you should be able to see all the participants listed, and you can set up breakout rooms by putting in the number of rooms you want to add or you want to have, and then you could drag the name of each person to a specific room, or you could just do a shuffle and let it happen automatically. So here we have the number of rooms, how long the room should last for, and then you can either do the shuffle or you could breakout room 1, breakout room 2, so you can either like type in someone's name directly, or you can just drag it and move things around for the breakout rooms. And then once you hit open rooms, everyone should be able to go to the separate rooms that they were added to. The next thing we have is creating polls. So assuming you were doing a training or you were discussing something, and just to see how engaged the audience is, or you needed to make a quick decision on something like the location of the next meeting, you could do a quick poll while the meeting is happening, and then people will be able to vote on this poll. And what it does is at the end of the meeting, whoever the host is or whoever created the poll receives a Google spreadsheet with all the answers to your email, and then you can either share the results with everyone or do with it what you need. So I'm going to click start a poll. You can put in the questions and the different options, and you can either make the responses anonymous or not. So right now it's not anonymous. Right now the names and the answers will be recorded together, but if I click that, it's going to be anonymous. So you can choose, and I'm just gonna, you put in a question, put in different options. There's 2, and then you can add as many as you like. And then if you made a mistake or if you're done with it in the meeting, you could delete this as well. And so let's do a quick example. I'm going to do meeting location. Okay. So assuming we were doing the meeting in Liberia or somewhere internationally. And so you could either launch this immediately or save it and come back to the same spot and launch it at a different time in the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and do launching. And so you have your poll here, and you'll see the votes as they come in. And you can either show the results to everyone, and so everyone will be able to have access to it, or not. And if you didn't make it anonymous before, you can always change that as well to see if you wanted to make people's names appear or not. And then you can end the poll eventually when the time is over, and then delete this, and you will get that spreadsheet to your email at the end. So for now it's live, and I'm going to end the poll, and voting is closed. Okay, so another thing is Q&A. This is similar to the chat room, but then it's going to be a chat room for only questions. And so if you have a lot of people, say it was for the conference or something that was completely online, and people are going to be asking a lot of questions and you wanted to keep track of them, you could always use the Q&A. So you could show all questions and answered, hitting. So there's a way when you get questions that you could reply to them in here as well. And you could start from the oldest question to the newest question, or if people ask the same question over and over, the popular one. So, and also another good tool to use. And then we also have whiteboarding here as well, but we already talked about that. This is an extension to Google Meet. It's another application that they have a partnership with, but it's similar to the whiteboard tool. And so you don't really have to worry about this. And then here is just for the host. So you can manage different settings of letting people share their screens, or chat messages, or turning off people's microphones if they're being loud, turning on and off videos as well, and then controlling the breakout rooms, and other accesses that you will need for the Q&A session, for example, if you're going to be the only person answering, and other things that you could play around with. And so this is all for the meeting moderation. And yes, I think we've covered all the features in the Google Meet platform so far. And so that's a tutorial, easy beginners on how to use Google Meet. And yeah, you should be able to move forward from here with everything. So I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting. Okay. Well, Thank you, and I'll see you next time.